The year is 2006. The Naruto anime is 4 years into its Japanese run and a full year into its English release, and its international success was enough to warrant the merchandise machine to start chugging. Video games, toys, and DVD box sets were typical arms of your product lineup, but a mid-2000s marketing push would be incomplete without the compulsory collectible card game. They were cheap, after all. Print a bunch of cardboard with key art or anime screen grabs, give it a basic rule set, then give the masses booster packs and starter sets so they can begin playing. It's exactly that sort of attitude, in addition to trying to chase the success of multimedia powerhouses like Pokemon and Yu-Gi-Oh!, that caused a glut of these products, and also caused most of them to fail. Anyone can make a TCG, so everyone made a TCG. And if there's anything that makes the Naruto Collectable card game special, it's that it had legs. The Naruto CCG had a respectable 7-year run, from 2006 to 2013, in which time it released almost 30 expansion sets. You don't get those kind of numbers by accident. 4 sets a year for as many years as it lasted means that Naruto had a lot of fans, and researching for this video made that very apparent. The overwhelming online sentiment I found is that this game was well loved and very missed. There are plenty of forum posts and YouTube videos of folks reminiscing about their times with the Naruto CCG. I actually played this game when it originally came out, not at tournaments or shops or anything, just casual kitchen table games where I certainly got the rules wrong. I didn't see it through till the end, but I did have fun with those first couple of sets, and I was eager to revisit this game and see all the strategy and depth I missed in my youth. I did a whole bunch of games over Tabletop Simulator to play the sets I couldn't find physically, then forced my brother to play long into the night so that I could gain an understanding of the Naruto CCG, and find out just what made it so popular in its day. The footage you're seeing on screen will be played with some of the earliest expansions, which were surprisingly the easiest to find online due to their overprinting at the apex of Naruto's popularity. Specifically, I obtained 2 starter decks for the 3rd expansion, Curse of the Sand, and 2 starter decks for the 5th expansion, The Dream Legacy. Let's open these up and give them an overdue play at the kitchen table. There are a few variations to the core rule set of Naruto, both official and community organized. For the sake of this video, I'm using the original official rules as found in the rulebooks alongside my starter decks. Know that if you plan on playing this game yourself, that there are some differences with deck construction, total deck size, and some other miscellaneous changes. The broad strokes of the game are the same, regardless of what rules are being used. There are 2 win conditions in the Naruto Collectible card game. If your opponent runs out of cards in their 40-card deck, you win the game. But more conventionally, you'll be working towards the primary win condition, earning 10 battle rewards. What's a battle reward? Thankfully, they are very intuitively named. You are rewarded them from winning battles, and in order to win battles, you need to understand the central unit at this game's core, ninjas. Let's take a look at Asuma Sarutobi here as an example. The first thing you'll notice is that there are a lot of numbers and attributes on the card. Some matter more than others, and it's not as overwhelming as it may originally appear. The number in the shuriken is what's known as the entrance cost. Despite the name, you're not actually paying anything. This is just a turn threshold that needs to be passed in order for the card to be played. Asuma has an entrance cost of 0, so he can only be played after 5 turns. It's worth noting that you start on turn 0, as indicated by this little cardboard tracking token provided with the starter deck, meaning that on your first turn you can only play cards with an entrance cost of 0, and ninja like Asuma aren't going to hit the field till turn 6. The number next to the entrance cost in front of the overlapping cards is the hand cost. This is how many cards you will need to move from your hand to your chakra zone in order to play him. These chakra will become relevant when we start talking about jutsu. For now, just recognize that they aren't gone from the game entirely. Once Asuma is in play, we need to take a look at his combat statistics to see how he will perform in battle. On the bottom you will see a 6 and a 2. These represent Asuma's combat and support stats respectively. Combat is how much power he represents when he's battling solo or as the head ninja of his team. Support is how much power he represents when he's the non-head ninja within his team. The concept of the team is arguably Naruto's largest differentiator. During the primary phase of your turn before battle, you can restructure your ninjas on the field, aka your village, into groups as large as 3, then attack with up to 3 teams at once. Your opponent has the opportunity to let their teams block. If they choose to do so, the power of each team is compared, with the higher number coming out on top. Any unblocked attacks hit your opponent's face, and you get a battle reward, aka place the top card of their deck into your battle reward zone. There's also built-in mechanics to account for large disparities in power between attacker and defender. To illustrate, let's compare to Magic the Gathering. Magic has a keyword called Trample. Upon victory in a battle, cards with this attribute will be dealt the difference between their attack and the defender's defense onto the opposing player. It's a favorite mechanic of mine because it allows big beasts to remain relevant and threatening, even if your opponent has a lot of little chump blockers to stall your offense. The Naruto CCG has a mechanic very similar to Trample, but importantly, it's ingrained into the battles at a systems level rather than being reliant on certain card attributes. 5 is an important threshold. If you have a team with 5 or more power and you strike your opponent directly, you draw 2 battle rewards instead of 1. If, during ninja versus ninja combat, the power disparity between the teams is 5 or greater, the winner will achieve an outstanding victory, which instead of just injuring the head ninja like usual, they will outright kill the head ninja and injure every secondary ninja on the team. Injury is another important Naruto concept. You might be wondering, out of the half dozen numbers on any given card, which one is the health? None, actually, and that's because every ninja has the same health value, 2. That sounds weird until you see how elegantly it's visualized. Every ninja enters the battlefield in their default healthy state by being played vertically. If the ninja is the head ninja in a lost battle with a power disparity of 4 or less, or if they're the non-head ninja on the other side of an outstanding victory like mentioned before, they will become injured. This is reflected by just turning their card horizontally, using some clever card frame design so that now the values on this side of the card become their new combat and support statistics. It's typical for ninja to become weaker when they get injured, though it's worth noting that there are some exceptions to that rule. Naruto Uzumaki cards, in true shonen protagonist fashion, typically become stronger as they get injured, to reflect the fact that he gets tough when the going gets tough. But that's enough about ninjas for now. There are 3 other card types, and thankfully, they're much simpler. Missions are your spell cards. They can be played during your turn, and they have the same cost as ninjas. They may or may not have an entrance cost requiring a particular turn threshold, and they may or may not have a hand cost, demanding a certain amount of cards be dropped into the chakra zone. Client cards are your field cards, which sounds weird because they're individuals, but in principle it's what they do. They're cards that usually instill a village-wide bonus, and only one of them can be out on your village at a time. Jutsu cards are a little different from the rest. For starters, the way you pay for them is unique compared to all other card types in the game. Rather than requiring a certain turn or moving cards into the chakra zone, you pay for jutsu by moving cards out of the chakra zone and into your discard pile that are of the correct chakra type. There are 5 different types in the base game: fire, water, wind, lightning, and earth. These cards can make their way into the chakra zone either from being tributed as hand costs from another card, or during your main phase you can just discard any card you want into your chakra zone. Using Paper Bomb as an example, this card has a cost of a single lightning chakra and a single chakra of any type. Jutsu are also unique in regards to when they're played. Unlike missions which get played during your main phase, jutsu are entirely combat tricks. They have their own turn phase called the Exchange of Jutsu, which is effectively when blockers have been declared on an attack, but damage hasn't resolved yet. This is the attacker and defender's chance to play any jutsu they desire, until both have agreed they no longer wish to cast any. Then damage will go through. Those are the broad strokes of the rules. Extra complexity is added in later sets with additional ninja types like platoons and squads. Eventually an extra element got added, but the core ninja combat is more or less consistent. And above all, it's that core combat that makes the Naruto CCG stand out for me. It's really important to recognize that organizing your ninja into teams can only be done prior to the attacking step on your turn, meaning that you can definitely put all of your ninjas into a single death stack and swing for a dozen if you want, but keep in mind that next turn, you can only defend with that single stack too. Your opponent can spread their ninjas wide and you can block at most a single one of them, with the other two grabbing battle rewards from successful face hits. It is profoundly strategic, and I found that even the simplest of board states had so many viable paths to victory. Baiting combats to intentionally injure ninja who might benefit from it, going narrow, going wide, setting up boards that benefit from the right jutsu exchange. You can even go for bluffs by loading tons of cards into your chakra zone and make it look like you're going to send out a top tier jutsu just to scare your opponent out of blocking. I found that even before the additional complexities added by later sets, there was a lot to appreciate here. Honestly, I think there's a fun quaintness to the whole premise of the game. Missions and clients being two of the four major card types is just hilarious to me. I've seen all of Naruto and I kind of forgot that it started as a series of what's effectively mercenary ninjas taking jobs for hire, with increasing difficulty yielding higher letter grades and higher prices. By the time the series hit endgame, we shifted away from missions into village-ending stakes and world-ending stakes, but this game was a reminder of a more simple Naruto. If there's anything that I think was a missed opportunity, it's the fact that the mission and client card types don't completely reflect how those cards actually function. They're just renamed spell and zone cards respectively. The early sets I played with physically had some serious balance concerns too, particularly concerning jutsu. There's a quirk with how jutsu are cast. They don't originate from the players themselves, but instead from their ninja. Why this matters is because if you have a removal spell to play during the exchange of jutsu, you will not only remove the ninja in question, but also cancel any jutsu they were casting, effectively getting a 2-for-1. This is actually a really interesting mechanic. It's just the implications with how this affects card balance. Jutsu removal is costed way too high considering it's the lesser of two removal types, at least in the very beginning sets. I actually ended up watching an early meta breakdown and saw that a veteran player validated this assessment. I've linked his video in the description. But if you're willing to ban some balance outliers among your friend group and can put in the time to understand its depth, the Naruto CCG is still worth a play. The year is 2022. The Naruto anime is no longer running, at least not really, and the Naruto CCG is no longer in print. But it's the existence of videos like that meta breakdown I mentioned that demonstrate the staying power that this game has in the minds of those who loved it. And after having sampled the game for a week, I can totally see why that is. The Naruto CCG falling out of favor in 2013 probably had more to do with a declining interest in Naruto as a brand, rather than any mechanical failing in the TCG itself. The Naruto CCG's final set was a tie-in with the third Ultimate Ninja Storm game that released in the same year. By then its print run was slim enough that individual booster packs of this set now go for hundreds of dollars, easily 10 times the price of the earliest printed Naruto sets. If watching this video has you yearning to visit or revisit the Naruto CCG, your effort is probably best spent playing the game via Tabletop Simulator, so you can avoid the insane prices that this game still demands a decade after its fall. But maybe in a sense, it has a chance to rise again. There's a Naruto CCG clone on its way. The Primal TCG Kickstarter just coincidentally got funded as I was wrapping up the script for this video. Their official YouTube channel is just the creator's personal account, repurposed after previously being a small-scale Naruto CCG unboxing and gameplay channel. I'll consider covering this one when it comes out to see if these mechanics alone can support a fun game even without the Naruto coat of paint on top. If you have memories of playing this game, share your experiences and let me know if you had as much fun with it as I did. Be sure to like and subscribe if this type of content is interesting to you, and if there's any other card games you want to see brought back from the dead in video form, let me know. Not for the next video though. With the One Piece and Naruto CCGs behind us, I think my next choice makes itself.